The House will now come to order. We will begin the session with the roll call. Delegates are reminded to raise their placards up and high when their country's name is called and respond with present.
Let's get it started. Canada.
Present.
France.
Present.
Germany.
Present.
Holland.
Present.
Italy.
Present.
Japan.
Present.
Sweden.
Present.
The United Kingdom.
Present.
The United States of America.
Present.
Russia.
Present.
Turkey.
Present.
Let's continue with general speakers list. The countries will be talking about the topic of censorship and the treatment of journalists.
Canada, you may come to the floor.
Journalists in Canada are generally free from violence or harassment, but we may legally restrict free speech with the aim of ending discrimination, ensuring social harmony, or promoting gender equality, but the definition of hate speech, which is punishable by law, remains vague. We also have a non-governmental organization called Canadian Journalists for Free Expression, supported by Canadian journalists and advocates of freedom of expression. The purpose of the organization is to defend the rights of journalists and contribute to the development of press freedom throughout the world. The organization recognizes that these rights are not confined to journalists and strongly supports and defends the broader objective of freedom of expression in Canada and around the world.
Thank you, delegates.
France, you may come to the floor.
In our country, the media are free and the freedom of press ensured by the law. Even though there are nearly no restrictions to work for journalists, there are still some laws, for example, privacy laws, that make their work difficult. Nevertheless, they don't have to fear any serious punishment. There was strong governmental control over the radio and television during the 1970s. Today, the CSI is only responsible for overseeing the observance of French law by the media. The CSI is charged to regulate televisions, both public and private.
Thank you, David.
Germany may come to the floor.
Censorship in Germany has taken many forms throughout the history of the region. Various regimes have restricted the press, cinema, literature, and other entertainment venues. In modern Germany, current is freedom of press, speech, and opinion. Censorship is mainly exerted in the form of the restriction of access to certain media. Examples include motion pictures and video games. The older adolescents or adults only. Furthermore, the publication of works violating the rights of the individual or those considered to be capable of indignation. Popular hatred may be prohibited. Possession of such work, including Adolf Hitler's Mein Kampf, however, is generally not punishable. Germany has been consistently rotated among the 20 most free countries on.
Thank you.
Holland, you may come to the floor.
The media in the Netherlands remained open, accessible, and diverse in 2013, operating in one of the freest environments in the world. Freedom of expression is safeguarded under Article 7 of the Constitution, although there are some provisions banning hate speech and discrimination. Nevertheless, freedom of speech usually carries more weight in court decisions. In one of the most prominent cases in 2013, prosecutors started an investigation.
You may come to the floor.
In our country, media isn't so free. There are so many rules. For example, in 2019, Reporters Without Borders ranked Italy as 43rd in its annual Press Freedom Index. The current government has a hostile approach to the media. The Council of Europe report found that our government was largely to blame for poor press freedom in Italy. And mafia infiltration is a real and serious problem. The mafia is one of the biggest threats to free media in Italy. Journalists can face 4 sentences for defamation. Some of Italy's harsh rules punishing defamation were actually introduced under Mussolini's regime. And our goals are to fix these problems.
Thank you, Delegate. Japan, you may come to the floor.
The Japanese constitution provides for freedom of speech and of the press. However, Japan's system of exclusive press clubs has been criticized by press freedom groups. The clubs often provide major media outlets with exclusive access to news sources, while generally barring foreign and freelance reporters. The practice of censorship were carried out to protect public order, and the manners and morals Fuzoku in Japan. To achieve these ends, censors suppressed kinship, related sakujo or revised publications, kaitei they deemed that threat to social and political stability.
Thank you, Delegate. United Kingdom may come to the floor.
Censorship in the United Kingdom has a history with various strict and lax laws in place at different times. Our citizens have negative rights to freedom of expression under the common law. In 1998, we incorporated the European Convention into domestic law under the Human Rights Act. However, there is a broad sweep of expression, including threatening or abusing words or behavior intending or likely to cause harassment, alarm, or distress of cause of breach of the peace.
Thank you, Delegate. The United States of America, you have the floor now.
The freedom of speech and the freedom of press in our country is stated in the very first amendment to the Constitution. The right of free speech is a long-standing tradition in the United States. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and to petition of the government for a redress of grievance. The situation in the country for critically reporting journalists is very good, as the United States is known for its satire culture. The only news getting censored online are those classified as illegal or child pornography.
Thank you, Delegate.